It's Sunday. Well, it's afternoon. I had sat around the house this morning. My wife's gone on senior trip with my son, and so I just bored and sitting around there at the house. And the hell with it. We're going to go do something, and even if it's wrong, but yeah. I was going to take off earlier than I actually did, and ended up, a buddy of mine, he's a field mechanic. He's an independent field mechanic. He called me, and another buddy of his from down in Bernie, California, had a Kenworth, a pretty nice, looks like a T370 or something like that. Nice service truck, I mean, really nice. 2012, had a Cummins in it. He brought it up there. Kevin's insight wasn't working right, so he called me and wanted to know if I could. The guy just bought the truck up here somewhere, I think, and he his check engine light came on. He was scared he wasn't going to make it back down to Bernie or something, the way with the light on and everything. So he said he wanted me to put my Texas unit on it there and see what the hell the deal was. And since his insight wasn't working right, so he brought it over there and we hooked up to it, and it had a SCR code, a selective catalyst reductant efficiency code. So, and then I changed some of the parameters. They had the idle shutdown set at 5 minutes, and he didn't want idle shutdown at all, so we deactivated that, and we did a forced regen on it to see if everything was working right there on the regen process. But with the SCR, I told him it had an exhaust leak under the cab too, and I said, man, I'd fix that exhaust leak first. So we did that, but more than likely, usually with them SCR efficiency codes, it's either the SCR injector isn't shooting the right amount of urea into the SCR, or the NOx sensors are not reading right. One of the NOx sensors isn't quite right, or it's a bad SCR. I rarely see those SCRs go bad. There goes the meat wagon. Anyway, could never make the SCR code. We did the dose module test and looked at a bunch of parameters. Never could make the light come back on and throw the code and activate after I cleared it. So we gave him an idea, at least he knows. That was the whole purpose. He said, I just need to know what it is, so am I going to make it home or not? I said, yeah, I understand. So I said, you better fix that pretty soon, though. I mean, that's what them SCR codes, if they keep doing that, after a few miles, it'll eventually derate you. And I know a lot of people say, oh, just delete that shit, delete it. He's in Bernie, California, and he goes south of Redding all the time. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Gestapo in California, you can't just delete that shit. I mean, yeah, you can't do that in California, because it's like I've heard a bunch of, I don't know if it's a complete fact or not, but I've heard a lot of horror stories. I've heard one guy tell me that it was an initial fine of like 25 grand, and then it was like $10,000 a day till it was back in compliance. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if he's just exaggerating. I mean, I can imagine the $25,000 fine. Yeah, I can believe that all day. I don't know about the $10,000 a day until it's back in compliance fine. But what's interesting? They're finding out now the urea from those trucks. If you ever follow those trucks down the highway, look at the tips on the stacks, on the ones that don't have wheat burners, that actually have a stack, and you'll see where that urea, white shit, is coming out the top of the stack. Now California's finding out that the urea is eating all the asphalt in the overpasses. So now they're thinking about banning the urea in California. I just got bored of going down here to show you the good deal I got. Hopefully it's a good deal. I got a 2000, I think it's an 04. Yeah, it's an 04. It's an 04 F350 XLT lariat dually. It says cabin chassis. It was a plumber's down in Mount Shasta, and he had brought it up to me last summer, and he had somebody work on it down there, and he said he dumped like $8,000, injectors, turbo, I don't know, there's a whole list of stuff. He gave me all the paperwork of what they did. Anyway, he dumped a pile of money into this thing, and like 100 miles after they got done working on it, he said it started misfiring, and he took it back to them. They said it had a bad cylinder. So he brought it to me and wanted me to double check it. I guess he just wanted a second opinion. And I did a compression check on it, and I told him it's something either in the head or the cylinder. I said I could do a leak down test too and really narrow it down. It's up to you. What do you want me to do? And he said, just see if you can sell it to one of them ranchers down there. I said, sure, I'll look. No guarantees. So he wanted like $5,000 for this thing. I said, man, I don't think nobody's cabin chassis. I don't know if anybody's going to want to do that. $5,000 for one that's got an engine that's got a major problem like that. I said, I'll try. So we stuck it out there with a for sale sign on. I had a couple bites on it that nobody would. As soon as I told them it's got a bad cylinder, nope, don't want nothing to do with it. And it's a 6-liter, so too. But I don't know. Me personally, I've got 2 6-liters, and I love them. I've had my fair share of problems with them, but once you get all the problems ironed out, they're pretty good. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Huh. Somebody get hit by the train or something? What the hell's going on? But anyway, it sat there all summer, all winter. And he called me and said, man, I told him I tried. Nobody wants it for $5,000. He said, well, what do I owe you? And I said, I said, it's like $300. So I ended up buying. He wanted $3,000 for it, and I ended up giving him $2,700 for it. So I thought, it's Sunday, the wife's gone. I go down here and pull the cab on that thing, pull the cylinder head off, and see how bad it is. And I've got another 6-liter engine out there too, in a 03, that another guy dumped a pile of money into. And then the cowboy that was working for the ranch let it roll down into the creek and ended up bouncing off a bunch of trees and tore a bunch of shit up on it on the way down in the canyon down to the river. Well, when it got down to the river there in Bella Vista, the ass end of the pickup, somehow it got turned around where it went in backwards, and so it just went in on the ass end. The engine didn't get in the water. So they drug it out totally. There ain't a straight panel on that son of a gun anywhere. And they owed me some money, and I do a lot of work for them. They're good guys. And he said, I'll just trade you for some of the work there. I don't remember what it was. It was dirt cheap, But he just spent like $6,000 or $7,000, putting a bunch of money into it also. So it's got brand new injectors and all kinds of shit in it. Had a brand new radiator, and so I've been robbing parts off of it. But anyway, so if worst comes to worst, and that engine's got something where it beat the cylinder wall up, I'll probably just pull that engine and put that other one in it and sell it. I'm gonna build a bed for it, build a flatbed for it sometime this summer. And I mean, them F350s, like in that year range, I've been looking online. I mean, they're going anywhere from like 14,000 to 20,000 bucks, and it's a really nice pickup. It really is. I mean, it's got the factory aluminum wheels on it. It's an XLT lariat, leather interior, all the bells and whistles. So I don't think I could get hurt too bad on it for what I paid for it, even if it's got a bad engine. And then the engine I do pull out, I'll fix it. If I decide to swap them out, I'll fix that engine anyway and just sell it or put it in another one or do something. So we'll make it work. Well, I'll be back with you guys here shortly. I'll get down here to the shop and we'll start pulling the cab on this old gal. Well, this is the deal I got. This is it's got a bad compression on number 1 cylinder there, so we're gonna pull the cab on it and pull that head. He's done all kinds of aftermarket stuff to this thing too. He's put this Sinister diesel, oh, what do they call this thing? This is their some kind of filtration setup. I don't know if that does much good of anything. Both of mine, I mean, this one here don't have none of that shit on there, and it's almost, I don't know, what is that thing reading now? 250,000 miles. My days. Where's that? 250,000 on it. And this one's got all this aftermarket stuff on it, and it's 115,000, and he's had troubles, so I don't know. The guy had it worked on down there, and after that is when he had troubles, and it's only got, it's only got 115,000 on it. Where the hell? There's some hair around here. 115,000 on it, so it's a nice one. Needs a little seat work, and other than that, typical leather seat, or it's a lariat. It should be leather. If it's a lariat, I wouldn't think they'd put vinyl seats in a lariat. But it's just cab and chassis. Duke likes this pickup too. He likes to lay in it. He's gonna go get in his pickup. He says, I'm bored and I've had enough of you working on shit here. It's Sunday. What the hell are you doing to me? So he's gonna go lay in the pickup. But no, we're gonna get this cab off, fix the engine or replace it or whatever. I'll probably just fix the engine. I'm not much of a replace kind of guy. I'm more of a fix it. I mean, shit, fix the damn thing, you know. You're a mechanic, fix it. Don't just replace it with another one. I don't know. No, we'll build a bed for it. I'll build a flat bed and a nice one. I'll probably build one with the skirts on it that go over the wheel well with wheel wells in it and toolboxes in the side, and I'll build a nice one for it. And I think I can sell it for $15,000-$16,000 all day long. Anyway, let's get after it. Well, guys, had a guy here recently. I was in a store. The guy says, "Where'd you buy that USS Alabama shirt?" I said, I bought it from the ship store on the USS Alabama. That's where I bought that t-shirt. Well, what are you talking about, the ship store? And I said, I was on board the USS Alabama, so I was a crew member. And I said, I bought it with serving on the boat. That's how I bought that. Oh, he says, you can buy them too if you go on a Tiger Cruise. Tiger Cruise, what's that? I said, that's what you do. We'll take the general public if you sign up for the Tiger Cruise after you go through your security clearance check. Well, you won't go through a security clearance check, but a security background check to let you on the boat and take you on a cruise. I said a lot of family members will go on Tiger Cruises. But, yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny. The guy was asking me where I bought the shirt. I bought it all right. It's called serving your time. Doing your time you signed up for. First thing I do, obviously, is pull the batteries. Battery box is off. Need to drain the antifreeze out of it. We're gonna have to probably pull this. Yeah, we'll have to pull this shit here they put on there off. Okay, let's see here. What are we gonna do first? Let's get the batteries loose. Let's see here. Yeah, this F350 here. This guy, they put somebody had put hubs in this. You know, some worn hubs. It had the vacuum operated automatic hubs in it, and I don't know. They didn't get the snap ring or something on the axle shaft right, and it totally screwed the needle bearings up inside the hub there, and really did a number on it. Just ruined it. And then this big dust seal, it pretty well munched it. And Napa had, I never can get that big dust seal. If you guys know of an aftermarket place to get that big dust seal other than Ford, let me know, because I never can get them anywhere besides Ford. Anyway, it was on Saturday when I started working on that, so I couldn't get it. Ford was closed. And tomorrow I'll get a dust seal for that, and we'll put this thing back together. Now here's another 2755 with a bad leak back here on the hydraulics. This is the one that I had in the shop on a video last year that I put a clutch in. I kind of pulled it in here. I got to look at it and see what's leaking back here. So these old 55 series are really starting to show their age a little bit. It seems like they're very, very problematic here lately. Okay, well, Luke, let's get to work, buddy. What you doing, Gertie? You're laying in front of the toolbox. I'm gonna open this door as soon as I open it. She's a little bit skittish about stuff like that. Usually, she'll run for the hills when I start doing stuff. She starts hearing the impact wrenches running and noise and banging and slamming, and she don't hang around long. She goes and hides in the pickup. She don't like loud noises and stuff like that. She's just a little bit sensitive sometimes. Yes, she is. She's a big, vicious pit bull, you know. You can just tell how she tucks her tail and run. Huh, sweetheart? Might actually get a little rain or something today. Let's put this thing on my hat or something. Let's put it right. Watch me shake everything. Start pull some of this junk off this thing. On my damn stool too. Where I did that. That's yesterday. Hi, Duke. Duke's over here laying down here in the nice cool asphalt floor here. Kind of debating on buying this building from these guys. Buying them out on this building. $60,000, I think is what they want for it now. They started at like 100. They're pretty good guys. They said that they actually put the rent money towards the purchase price, so it's actually not a bad deal. The drawback to the whole situation is the railroad. He's having to deal with the railroad. $4,000 a year right now. It's a year-to-year lease. I think a 3% mandatory increase. Now, if it was $4,000 a year and it was a fixed rate, yeah, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I mean, yeah, I can pencil $4,000 a year. But the 3% mandatory increase every year, that's bullshit. Now the guy next door, the only reason I'm thinking about buying it now is because the guy next door, he somehow got out of the right-of-way lease on it. So, say he bought him out. Of course, that guy's not around anymore, and he sold it to somebody else now. So, I'm trying to figure out how he did it and how he bought him out on it and what it cost him. Okay, one battery down. You come over here to this side. Turn the camera around. This suction cup thing doesn't work. Doesn't work with this shit, can it? Anyway, he bought him out on that. So I need to figure out how he got out of that deal. Because there used to be spur lines coming into here to load spuds on rail cars. Well, there's no spuds here anymore, and there's no spur lines. They took the spur lines out. And I wonder if there's some kind of deal in the lease with the spur lines that were originally put in here. Maybe that's like a, I don't know, maybe since the spur lines are here, maybe he got out of it because the spur lines aren't in here. You know, the railroad took him out. Damn it, I'm not going to be able to get that loose with this oil filter setup thing they got on there. I'm going to have to get a short ratchet to take that loose. But I don't know, maybe there's something to do. If I can get out of this railroad thing, I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, they quit after the potato thing dried up and there was no spuds going on anymore. I mean, they didn't fix any of these buildings up, as you can tell. This one here has been neglected pretty bad, and I think that's one thing you could maybe pitch the idea. The railroad, you won't have such an eyesore right next to your railroad if you'll, you know, relinquish some of your right-of-way control and let people buy that part of it out, and we'll fix the buildings up instead of giving you $4,000 a year because part of the building's on your right-of-way. We'll put that $4,000 a year towards improving the property on it, and you won't have such an eyesore. If I can get that deal swung and get it bought, what I'm going to do is start gradually this floor in the shop. If I end up purchasing this place, I'm going to knock about, I don't know, a section of it at a time out to, you know, lot off a section of it there to where I can jackhammer this asphalt out of this floor, put the forms in, and pour concrete in it. Make a damn concrete floor, one you can actually clean up. I mean, I've got a concrete floor at the shop at the house, and it don't look like this one. This one here is oil stained. Every time you spill oil on it, it's stained forever. I think Wayne on one of my viewers told me to pour bentonite on there. I've been wanting to do that. Old Larry Despain, he's a well driller. He's got a bunch of bentonite over there. He said I could have. Since he's not using it anymore, he folded his drilling business up pretty much. But I've been contemplating trying that, trying to get some of the oil stains out of the floor. But it just sucks. You take jack stands, you know, if it gets really hot, jack stands sink through the floor on you. One thing I can say about the asphalt floor, it seems like it's a little bit easier on you. It's a little bit more of a cushion. Just, I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but it's not as hard on your knees and joints as the concrete is. The concrete sure cleans up nicer, and you can set jack stands on it without them sinking through the floor, and it doesn't, you know, if you do spill oil on the floor, you take a goddamn floor sweep and you sop it up and you're done with it. You throw the floor sweep in the garbage and away you go. This asphalt, you put floor sweep on it, it seems like most of it's soaked into the asphalt, and then if that diesel fuel gets on the asphalt, it really screws that asphalt up. Okay. I don't remember if I pulled that battery box out or not last time. I think I left this one in. So. Okay. So we got our one wire off. We know we're going to take that one off. I think that one there. I can't remember. And two more. Get everything off the driver's side. This should swivel around. If I remember right, yeah. I thought this one, I guess not. Looks like the way this thing works, and it don't swivel around. It's stuck where it's at. Alright, pull the puke tank, get that off of there, because we got the water drained out of it now. Looks like you put a new one of these on there too. They're kind of prone to breaking on you and cracking. My buddy's got a Ford, his is cracked right now. When we went out on the one video with the dirt bike ride, we noticed it was leaking. Sure as shit, it was cracked. He's gonna bring it over, I think, next week or something. I'll schedule an appointment for him, and he's a mechanic too, but he don't have time to work on it either. And, I just work on them all the time. I know these 6.0s like the back of my hand, so he said, just do it. Oh, what's my 10 millimeter? Do something now. Let's see how much crap I've got. Pretty sure we got the steering tube off. Strap off. Couple plugins here on the inner plunger. Be off now. I don't like breaking and tearing shit up. Looking absolutely avoid it. Always forget shit. we can get the damn cylinder head off of it. Get my lights and put over here so we can see a little better. And pull the down pipe and pull the turbo and intake manifold and all that nice, wonderful stuff. We can zip right along, and it won't take us long now. Lay all this stuff back down over here. Kind of out of the way. Plug our harness here. Go plug bus bar. I can move right along now. Cab off. Okay. I need a half-inch drive. screw up and leave my 3/8 pack in the cab. Here it is. I don't have shit. Just flatbed. Right here is a tool cart. This is the one that had a bolt missing in it when I did the compression check. Yeah, there it is, had a bolt missing out of it. I wonder if that's what went down the cylinder. Kind of weird how it's right there and number one cylinder is the problem. Isn't that kind of weird? Yeah, it's kind of weird how it started missing after they worked on it and they wouldn't own up to it. I don't know, I guess I live in a small area and you can't get away with that shit in a small area. You can't screw people over like that. I gotta pull this plug out for the standpipe going into the rail. I always forget about that too. Those are the updated plugs because they got the Allens. The other ones had a 1/2-inch squares, if I remember right. Pretty soon I'll have every damn tool I own out to get this head off. It'll take, midnight to pick all this shit up to go home. Alright, where are the metric gallons of that right here? Let it drizzle and drain there. That's the bad thing about high pressure oil systems, they're just more mess. Okay. still drizzling everywhere, son of a bitch. Lay over here on this little bench. Alright. Pop injectors out of it. Head bolts, yeah. Take a 3/4 19mm socket. Doctor's making a liar out of me. Not very often that you hear sirens around here. What is your fucking problem? This one here's being a dick and it's hung up. I'm sure that some of the diesel pickup gods will watch this on YouTube and make some comments and give me thumbs down because they're the diesel pickup gods of the world. But that's fine. There's something not right. That should not be doing that. There's no way that should be doing that. Never had one bind up like that in there. What the fuck is going on with this one? That just doesn't seem right to me at all. Bent rocker or something? I don't know what the fucking hell's going on here. Fuck all new injectors. I spent a lot of money on this thing. I spent a lot of money on this thing. Okay, what do we want to do next? Pull the rockers and valve bridges and all that stuff probably. Push rods. I guess so. Pull all the rockers off. So I'll pull these head bolts here. Then I can pull the rockers and rockers off of it. we will toss these. We will not be using those again. I'm probably just going to buy an ARP head stud kit and just do both sides. Probably more than likely what I'm going to wind up doing. Do it right. But tonight I want to see what's wrong with this side. Man, I need to... You know, why don't you roll the cart over here to you dumb bastard. I'm packing this shit clear across the county. Yeah, that's a little better there, moron. Pull the valve bridges off. Looking at the valve here, I don't see. It doesn't look like it's bent or anything, but we'll see. Hopefully it's just a head problem, I hope. I sure hope it is. I hope we get lucky. If not, we will find out what a bad buy I made. Hi, Dookie. I know you're wanting to go home, I know. But we're almost there, buddy. We're almost there, partner. We're getting there, partner. I'm getting there, buddy. What? You can't get up here. You can't get up here, partner. He's so damn smart. He'll sit there and grunt at me wanting up there, and he'll start whining. He gets bored. Can't blame him. I can't blame him. I don't want to pet you, buddy. My hands are all nasty. I don't want to pet you, buddy. My hands are all greasy. Oh, yeah. Junkyard dog. If I can leave that glow plug bus bar in there, I will. They're a pain in the ass. Half the time to get them out without breaking them. Okay, so we need to take this off. Need to take this pipe off here, and then we pull the cylinder head on her, man. Leave the exhaust manifold hanging on it. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Man, I probably ought to get things kind of ready here. Shit, I still got shit laying on here from the 2755. Wipe my hands off. I know what you're doing, buddy. Love you, partner. We need some panther piss. Where is my panther piss at? Duke, have you seen the panther piss? Never mind, here's the panther piss. I got it. You almost got it for me, didn't you? Excuse me while I talk to myself on the camera, because sometimes I can't even hold a conversation with myself. It's terrible. Another set of head bolts underneath that, I don't remember. No. No, there is not. There is not, my friend. Rocker box gasket. Yeah, that's right, that's right. I remember those now. They're underneath the rocker box. It's been a while since I had to head off one of these. Used to do a lot of work with these. I mean, I've bulletproofed a bunch of them. Probably 100 of them.
I've done a lot of 6-liters. I mean, there was a lot of them when there's a lot of Ford guys around here. And it didn't matter how bad the reputation was on the 6-liter.
Let's go ahead and pop this fuel tube out of the way. On the old transmission. Lay it back here. I've already broke it loose. Of course, there's water going to go everywhere. Sure, the pistons are all going to be full of it and everything else. Son of a bitch is stuck to the bolt on the head gasket. Never seen one do that before. There it goes. Being a little prick, isn't it? Somebody grab the fucking thing. Oh shit, it's got a bad piston in it. It's got a bad piston. I wanted to look at the bottom, but exhaust manifold. What's that cylinder head look like? I don't really see anything wrong with the head. Pistons sure don't look much good. He had something go on with this hole and fucked that piston all up, didn't he? Something definitely hit that piston. I've never seen one do that on a 6-liter. You know, the 6-liters are usually pretty... They have their fair shares of problems, but other than that, I mean, they don't really come apart that often like that, like a piston or something. Now I'm going to pull the motor out. Yeah, she ain't right. Something fell down and hit it. I can go in the garbage with the head bolts. Yeah, she's all dickered up, isn't she? Yeah, it's fucking bad. They dropped something down in the hole, and it bounced around in there, and it finally shot it out. Let's look at that head a little closer. I can't believe that the head's not damaged. See, that would be this end of the head, right? Well, guys, I think there's just no way that a piston, something fell down on top of it, and them guys either put another head on it and slapped it back together and sent the guy on his way. Yeah, something's really fishy here, because there's nothing wrong with that head. With that amount of damage that's been done to that piston, that head should be beat to hell on the bottom. Them guys fucked it up. They fucked it up. They didn't want to go ahead and rebuild the engine, so they did the bare minimum. They slapped a cylinder head on it, is what they did. That's exactly what they did. Chicken shit motherfuckers. Pretty chicken shit what they do to people.
Roll it down the bottom dead center and see what the bore looks like on it. Let's go back down. What does the cylinder look like? I can get a clean rag. These are, you know, the cylinder bore looks good in it. The cylinder bore actually looks really good in it. I think we can hone it and get away with it. I don't see anything wrong with the cylinder bore. Cross hatches are all still in it really good. Fuck yeah. I mean, it ain't good, but it ain't as bad as it could be. We're gonna pop that piston out, and I'm gonna order a new piston for it. Order a piston and some rod and main bearings. ARP head stud kit. And shit, I'll hone that cylinder a little bit and it'll be just fine. They dropped something. You can see the, look at the imprint down there. See that? Can you see that imprint? They dropped something down in the hole there. Because there's no way that that piston can look like that and then the bottom of that head look as good as it looks. No fucking way. That head should be beat to hell. They either stuck another cylinder head on it. Well, wait a second. No. This is the cylinder that it happened on. There's a dent right there, almost by that valve, by that exhaust valve. It's hard to say, man. I did a cylinder leak down test on it, and I knew it was on the bottom end. I just wanted to see how bad it was. So yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and pull the engine on it. Pop that one piston out. And pop that piston out there, order a new piston for it, slap her back together, and away we go.